Praise to Allah. The problem with R&B nowadays is, well, one of the problems with R&B today is there are no more super groups. Like back in the days, they had super groups. You know, they had like LSG, you know, they had shit. Well, most recently, the last R&B supergroup that we got right now is TGT with Tyrese, Tank, and Genuine. And so, really, that's like one of the problems with R&B is that like lately there's no super groups like back in the day, you know. And I feel like the lack of super groups has really like held R&B back because it's like there's so many great singers and so many talented singers that, you know, if they were to come together, you know, it would have a much bigger impact on R&B, in my opinion. Like if Chris Brown, Jacquees, Ty Dolla $ign, and Trey Songz was to form a group, like that would be dope. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I feel like R&B is, you know, is mostly solo acts, which I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, like I would like to see like other dope singers come together and see what they can do as a team though, just because, you know, you got all that talent on one song or a couple songs, you know, it should only be dope, you would think. So I feel like that's like the number one problem in R&B is that we just don't have any super groups like we used to back in the days. Like I said, there's so many dope singers. Oh, and dope female singers too. Like there's so many dope female singers too. I feel like, damn, where's like the all-female R&B group at? Like, come on, or like, you know, like Adele, Jill Scott, fucking Ari Lennox. Like, why they can't make a super group type shit? I just feel like the lack of super groups nowadays is really like what's holding R&B back. I feel like if more dope artists would come together and collaborate and, you know, make a group or try to make a group and make an album or two, then I feel like shit would be way different as far as like, you know, people paying attention to R&B, or even a super group with like half women, half men. I mean, that shit would be dope too. Like, I don't know, you can take like, I don't know who, like Maxwell and freaking Jennifer Hudson and fucking, I don't know who else, fucking, I don't know, whatever dope singer that's out there that y'all want to say, you know, but I'm just saying, like, where are the super groups? And I feel like we need more super groups just to balance everything out and, like, really show everybody's talent. And shine the light on R&B. That's just my opinion. I feel like that's really what's missing. Some people will say, R&B has lost its originality by sounding more like rap these days, and maybe that could be a problem, but I feel like they're just changing with the times. Like the sound. I feel like the sound has changed from like 1980, 1990. And I feel like artists who are doing that are just trying to change with the sound. And I don't really see nothing wrong with that as far as adapting. And like I said, maybe that could be a problem, but for the most part, I feel like just the lack of super groups or groups in general is just kind of like taken away from R&B. But yeah, man, it's just so many dope singers. I feel like there should just be more collaborations and more dope albums with dope singers, and hopefully that will change. I don't know, because it could be a money issue, because a lot of groups, uh, they don't last long. Um, Most of the time, it's because they're fighting over money. So that's why most groups don't last long. So I understand why a lot of people may not be quick to collaborate or want to team up, because it's like the paperwork situation gets kind of messy. People are signed to different labels, and certain labels may not sign off on certain projects or whatever. So that could be making it complicated too, because you can't just like say you and you, let's all make an album, because if you're signed to this person and this person signed to that person, what I'm saying, the paperwork could get in the way of us making an album. So I do understand the business part of music, but for the people who don't really have bad record contracts or bad label deals, hopefully they're able to make some collaborations happen if possible. But that's just my thing. I feel like there's just so much talent that's not really, being used right, or we're not getting enough of. So I feel like, hopefully we see more super groups if the paperwork isn't too messy, and because like I said, there's so many dope singers. I'm like, oh man, where are all the super groups at? There should be way more super groups than what we got right now. So yeah, hope everybody stay blessed.